All right, let's take a look here at a couple of terminology things to make sure that we can start using the ace right formation as kind of the home formation. This is particularly true in our base personnel. It might change slightly when we get into hero or we get into our heavy personnel, or certainly we wouldn't be in super heavy in this, but in base personnel, our base alignment is ace right. Okay, and from this, we want to be able to move some personnel around, and we're going to move those guys. If it's a shift, not a motion, but a shift, the quarterback is going to visually look at the player he wants to shift, and he's going to give him a hand motion. Okay, and so he might, the play call might be ace right near. Okay, and he's going to look at the tailback and bring him in near. Now, we haven't used much of this formation yet during the season, but this would just be spread right. Okay, we want the tailback set up. His inside foot is kind of splitting the feet of the guard, so there's spread right. We could get to that. We could go ace right far. You could bring the quarterback, the tailback over here across the quarterback's face, meaning he's far from where he began. And again, we would be set up here, splitting the feet of the guard, and so we would be in a far position. Or we could go ace right behind, okay? And we're going to bring the tailback in here and put him behind, in our pistol set. So we're in like a right or a right over or a left or left over formation. Okay, so these hand gestures, and moving the guy in allows us to add some wrinkles to our offense to help us run the same concepts over and over again and dress them up a little different. We're going to bring this tailback. We're going to bring the tailback here. And typically we tag these things as like T far or S far, S near, T near. And we'll go back to that practice so that to kind of simplify things. But this being far, we're going to bring this tailback. We're going to bring him across the quarterback and let him set up there. Now, this is 35 stretch. So 35 stretch, we'd get a stretch. Everybody's pulling. This is, stretch for us, this is an outside zone play. Okay, so outside zone, just like jet, stretch, they're the same thing. Okay, so we're going to bring him in. So you can see here, the quarterback's going to look at him. Once the quarterback makes sure that we're set, quarterback's going to look to the tailback, going to bring him in, trim a motion in here. We've got to make sure that we give him a second to set up. So anytime that we shift, we have to have that pause in there to reset, and then we can snap the ball. And then you can see that the motion in this stretch is just like a jet play. Trent's coming across in front of the quarterback. The quarterback's reading the same thing. In this case, the quarterback would be reading right here, this linebacker. You can see the linebacker sitting in the hole. So we're going to ride. Linebacker's still looking at the quarterback. Give the ball. Linebacker's late. Positive gain by us. Okay? It's a great football play. Okay, so let's go back and look at this from the start here. Okay, so this is ace right, and I really like ace as a formation for us because I think anytime you can make, guys on the back end of the defense move around a little bit, okay, they start thinking about something else. Okay, now Madison does a pretty good job. They're just going to sit in there and do what they do. Okay, but we're going to use that zone action, to freeze that linebacker. Okay, again here, this is an outstanding job by Corione. Look at Corione. He wins early with his feet. Boom, feet to the outside. Engel kid, he's reached. Okay, we get the corner. It's a win-win. Okay, in this one, it's ace right. And this is actually red 38 jet. I know it's labeled as yellow 47 jet, but that's incorrect. Okay, so jet, like the play we looked at before, it's our outside zone. Okay, so again, play starts pretty much the same. Quarterback's responsible for making sure excuse me, everybody gets set. Okay, he's going to put the back in motion. This time with motion, he's going to look at him and he uses his foot just to indicate, hey, we're all set, time for motion. We want this motion to be kind of a, it's about 3/4 speed motion. You can see Trent does a great job on the snap of the ball. He's accelerating, okay? The ball is snapped just as we get to the edge of the tackle box. Okay, all these things are timed out really well. You can see Corey does a great job on the backside of getting inside. That DN's doing what we expect the DN to do. He's kind of sitting and squeezing. Okay, Eidman's doing a tremendous job again here. This time we're running it at Engel again. Okay, this is particularly good over here. I think, Eidman, we might get called for a little bit of a hold or something there. At least a lateral drop. I would say that's a 2-point takedown for sure. You cover him up, you're probably getting some back points. But anyway, back to the play. So, we move, we're reading that linebacker. Now in this case, I think this probably should have been a pull. You could see that this linebacker is kind of turned and running. We probably should have kept this ball, and followed Wyatt right up the chute. Now this is where our guard has to do a great job of, just take the guy where he wants to go, okay? Just take the guy where he wants to go. But, really good football play, great cut by Trent, good finish to the play. I don't know who this is getting blown up here at the end. That's Stout. Hey, Stout. How we doing? Okay, one of the reasons I think this formation is so effective is just because of the number of things that we could do out of it. And as Trent would tell you, one of our favorite things to do is to run like 32 trap out of this, and that'll be the next play that I show, but also the waggle concept. Okay, so here we are, we motion the guy in, we let him set. Okay, everybody's set. Now we can put the other guy in motion. Okay, and you notice the subtle difference here. Okay, that it's a hand signal when we want you to just come in. We want you to come into the backfield. We're going to use the hand signal because you're going to reset. When we want you to go in motion, we're going to use the foot. Okay, subtle differences, but important for our quarterbacks to concentrate on. So here we've got, this is ace right near, yellow rocket, 34 waggle. So we're going to fake to the tailback. We're going to fake to the super back. And here's what I love about this. This is a big time play right here. Okay. Now we know that the tight end is going to be open. We know that he's going to be open down the field, but this is a tough play to make. Okay. And here we drop this baby in, drop a dime, Eidman with his outstanding wheels gets behind the defense. It's a great play. Okay. So here's the same look. This is against Valley Falls. This is that trap play I was talking about. We bring Trent in, okay, and I like it. You see how we keep the box empty. When we start here, if you look at the defense's box, okay, and what do we mean by the box? That's these guys right here. Okay, they really only have 4 guys, maybe a fifth, maybe this guy right here. Maybe he's also in the box, okay, but regardless, the box is really light. Okay, they've got to spread out in order to cover us in space, which is what we're going to dictate to most people because we're so fast that they're going to have to respect that space. But we bring this guy in, the defense never really gets set. We send a guy in motion. Again, doesn't change a whole lot, okay, but it does make this trap very effective. Now, this trap could be really good. Okay, Corey, as we come across here, if we're climbing in the hole, see how, number 2 kind of beats us back underneath. Okay, if Corey climbs the hole here, then that trap is really good. Now, because we do such a good job up front, watch Wyatt here, this double team, look at that. Okay, because we do such a good job up front of getting people blocked, okay, that we're off to the races anyway. Okay, you give Trent a little bit of space, and he's going to finish the deal. Okay, so it's a great play, but all these are the same look, and we want to be really good at getting from this look to whatever formation we want to play all year. Okay, I'm going to talk about a couple of stretch play examples here. This first one is in the Lebo game, and this is spread right over 35 stretch pass. And so, a couple of things that are really important about this. Whenever we set up in our stretch pass, we've got to always locate these linebackers. So, job number one is kind of to figure out where these level 2 or linebacker defenders are at. You can see one of the guys is in the box, the other guy's kind of slid out towards the slot back. Okay, so but really what we're doing is taking a look at them to see if we can get any pre-snap reads as far as whether they're blitzing or not, because we've got a couple of automatics in here. So if you look on our playbook, this guy right here, okay, this guy right here, he would be tied to our tailback. Okay, so if the tailback is running that route and this guy happened to be on a blitz, they are color-coded the same because that's our automatic. That outside guy comes, we're going to throw where they can't cover it. Okay, just as, get rid of those. If this guy right here is the blitz guy, then the tight end is the guy that they can't cover because he can come right in and sneak right in that same spot. So we've always got an answer to what they want to do as far as bringing pressure. We just need that our quarterback knows enough, to make that happen. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the play as it progresses. So, 36 stretch pass, tight end does a pretty good job of getting off here. We don't want to get mugged up too much. It'd be nice to kind of rip through that instead of taking it in the chest. Okay, but we're going to get vertical, no linebacker, blitz. But you can see that the tight end is often open in this play. But really, 35 stretch pass is all about this deep out. Okay, so we've got to get an outside release. Tylan gets a good outside release here on the outside. Okay, you can see him. Okay, outside release, super important. You can see how the corner turns his shoulders. He's of no use right there. Okay, so we have won offensively because this guy's turned his shoulders so that when we run this little out route underneath it, that guy can't cover it. And that's really where we want the ball to go. So this play sets up. It's a great read by our quarterback. You can see linebackers out here. He's kind of got our tailback in coverage. Okay, but this being 4th down, we really needed to pump this ball in for a completion, and we do that. We get it pumped into Blaze here. The safety's late. Blaze makes him fall on his butt. Drops the ball for some reason. Mostly Blaze stuff, liking to be tricky out there. Okay, big play in a football game. So here's another look. This time, this is early in the season versus Harrington, and what you'll notice is these linebackers, see them all walked up, okay, and this comes back to our idea that, hey, there's always an answer. Okay, so we can identify these linebackers as being, they're going to come in pressure. Okay, again, we're looking at 35 stretch pass. All the tight end has to do is replace them. Once the quarterback recognizes pressure, okay, and there's a lot on his plate, okay, but when he recognizes pressure, then we can go ahead and defeat that pressure. The only time we really get in trouble is if, the pressure makes us throw a bad ball. That should never happen. But the second way we get in trouble is if we don't really pay attention. We get up there and we snap the ball too early. So it's always important, quarterbacks, that, when we walk up to the line of scrimmage, that we're going to, take a second to look around, see what's going on. We're not in a hurry. Okay, we'll let you know if we need to hurry. Here, Eidman gets a good release. We recognize him right away. Quarterback gets the ball up and out quickly. Ball's accurate. Nice catch. Another 4th down conversion.